What's going on out there, football fans? I'd like to welcome you guys to episode number 239 of our podcast, The War Room. This is our Super Bowl 49 pregame tailgate special. It's an annual thing. We do it every year, Super Bowl Sunday. Make sure you listen in, and even if you're listening now on the podcast, you can listen in, see what we said prior to the game now that we know how the game went down, and you can see who was right, who was wrong, what points were made that actually showed up in the game. So look, I hope you guys actually had a great Sunday on Super Bowl Sunday, whether you're a Patriots fan, a Seahawks fan, or if you're just a fan of this thing of ours that we love called football. We hope you had a great Super Bowl Sunday. But sit back, relax, get your popcorn out again, take a listen to episode number 239, our Super Bowl 49 pregame tailgate special. This is your boy Dev of War Room Sports. I'm out.
Blog Talk Radio.
I'm just about that action, boss.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the War Room. You got Dev, Kill, Jimmy, PJ, and B. Austin, the Hot Block Commander. Give it to you how you want it in a 1 or 2 hour show that'll keep the brain running with the premise to talk sports on a national level. Bold with them topics, sorta like some rebels. When it's game time, they like the Fab Five doing prime time. Sports conglomerates speak their minds a little bit. From sports medicine to sports veterans and greats. The 4th to 26, so the war in Kuwait. It's the War Room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.
Yes, sir. Football fans, what's good? You are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on that WRS Podcast Network. I'm your man, Dev, and I'm here at the round table right now with my partner, Jimmy the Blueprint Williams, and B. Austin to join us in just a few minutes. Super Bowl 49 is hours away, and we're going to spend the next 59 minutes tailgating and giving our final thoughts on the big game. And if you're along for the ride, buckle up, keep it locked right here, and join us in the JW Philly Realty chat room at blogtalkradio.com/the War Room, or join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports so you can be a part of the conversation. You can also call us directly and give your pick for the big game at any point during the show. The Digital Extreme Tech hotline number, as usual, is 323-410-0012. So get on that phone, call us. We want to hear from you. But before we get started, of course, we got to give some shout outs to the other shows on the WRSPN, which is War Room Sports Podcast Network. You can listen to the network from our main site. That's warroomsports.com, or you can get there directly at WRSPN.com. You'll find great shows such as the Broad Street Line with Roy and Chris, who did their Super Bowl preview just this past Tuesday. You can find the Sideline Pass, a.k.a. After Further Review 2.0 with the Mayor, the Tissue and the Tape Hip-Hop Show with Phil and Savad. They did some stuff this weekend that you'll be hearing on the network pretty soon. And you got Sports Trap Radio with Brandon and Anthony. Make sure you listen to the network. Seriously, guys. We let you know this. We tell you every week. And it's not just because it's our network. It's just because there are a lot of great shows on the network. Sports, non-sports, whatever you need. It's a great place to be, especially if you're a podcast head. If that's what you do, check out our network because we got some great ones. You can also check the listings at fatsradio.com, PHATZ radio.com for air times of all your favorite WRSPN sports shows, including our show, The War Room, which usually airs there Sundays and Tuesdays at 3 p.m. What up, Jim? What's going on, man? It's almost time. It's about time for some action. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, bro.
Yeah, happy it's a holiday, man. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you too, good brother, man. I'm just looking forward to it, man. I'm trying to avoid all this, although we're doing our show, we're going to jump in for an hour, talk about it. But, they cats done started, like, last night into, like, game time. They going, you know how they do.
Yeah. This is the point where the overanalyzation occurs. I mean, that's why, what we're going to do here for the next 58 minutes or so, it's not going to be anything real deep. You know what I'm saying? Because I think everybody, especially people who follow the coverage nonstop this time of year, they're probably tired, beating the head, just ready for the game to start. So, this will be something light for them. People can call in and give their picks. Of course, that number again is 323-410-0012. Just press 1 and you can get to us with your Super Bowl pick. So let's get right into this, of course. And this Super Bowl 49 tailgate is brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. Do you or your business need a custom website? Well, for dynamic, professional, and most of all, affordable custom website solutions, you need Digital Extreme Technologies. No need to break the bank for an effective online presence, top quality, results-driven websites at incredibly affordable prices. Financing options are available. So just visit digitalextremetech.com or call 267-205-4203. And for discounted rates, be sure to tell them that War Room Sports sent you. All right, man. Some stories that we actually didn't get into during Thursday's show. One was the baby weight thing. You got Richard Sherman and his girlfriend who are expecting a baby any minute now. I don't know, man. It's so time pressing that they may have had the baby already. I don't know, but what we wanted to ask everybody on the show Thursday, but basically ran out of time, was the question that had been going around social media, Jim. And that is, well, the way I want to frame it, I don't even want to put it on Richard Sherman because I don't want to be judgmental. So I'm going to put it to you. I'm going to put it like this, Jim. If you were in the situation where you were expecting a child, your first child, and they know it's a boy, your first son, at any day, any given minute now, and you're also scheduled to play in the Super Bowl, if you get the call that she goes into labor, say Super Bowl Sunday morning, if it happened earlier today, what do? Do you leave and go home to see the birth of your first son, or do you stay and play in the biggest game in American sports?
And may your first child be a masculine child. Yo, I just know that that's a difficult decision that I'm glad that I'll never have to make in life because I'm not in the NFL. But yo, I don't even know how to answer this question. It's funny, we've been talking about this all week online, and most women surprisingly was like, yo, let them play and we'll tape it, or we'll tell them to come to the hospital after the game. The birth of your first child is a once in a lifetime thing. But how many people actually get to play in the Super Bowl? Like, that's your dream. And say you do have a son, he would understand that. So that's a tough situation, man. I would probably try to figure out something in the middle, like bring it to the stadium with like the midwife or something. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think someone said that on our page too. Like,
I was about to say, we posted the question and people actually said that, and like, hey, I think that was
Nakia. Shout out to Nakia Brown. I think it was Nakia who said that 254. But I may have to do something like that because that's just a difficult decision. But I was shocked because most women said, look, go play and come after. Like, and if the woman says that, you gotta do what she says, man. Like, you gotta go play that game.
She actually said though, Jim. Nakia said, bring her to the locker room. I'm like, yo, then you gonna freak all your teammates out if she do go into labor.
But imagine the feeling if they win the game and then after the game, you just have your first boy or girl, whatever it may be, a healthy child. Like, that's at that point, you what else can you do? Your life is set. So that's a difficult decision, man. Blessings to Richard Sherman, but
exactly.
It ain't me.
For me, like you said, it's been a topic of conversation all week on social media. We've talked about it personally, and I don't know if you've noticed, but for the past 4 or 5 days, I've successfully skated this question while talking about it all at the same time. I really haven't given an answer because for me, it's kind of like what you're saying, and I'm gonna take a pause real quick to welcome the homie B Austin onto the show. What up, B? But it's like what you've been saying, Jim. Like, this is a difficult decision to make. Like, for me, it's family over everything. But is this one of those situations where, I mean, it's not life or death for your family? I guess it is life, but it's not, a life or death situation. So it's so difficult, man. Yeah, because we put so much into sports and we make sports so important. So it's hard for me to say. I really don't know. I think I would have to actually be faced with the actual situation instead of just getting the hypothetical question.
There's no right answer.
B, what would you do? Would you if you were Richard, if you were in that situation, would you play in the bowl if you got the call that your wife was in labor with your firstborn?
we have a rare situation. I'm actually going to ask my wife how she would feel, because she's here with me in my studio, if we were in a position where I had to play in the Super Bowl, but you were pregnant and delivering on Super Bowl day. How would you feel? Should I play in the game, or should I be there with you? She said, "What do you think?"
There you have it. Yo, see, but
I make my millions.
But listen, the crazy part about Richard Sherman's particular situation is a lot of people who are saying you shouldn't miss the birth of your child. You know, some of them are saying it because, like, look, you've already done the Super Bowl thing, you got a ring, blah blah blah. But I still think it's a difficult question. But on the other hand, like I just said, I do think we place a little too much importance on sports. But the guys that are actually playing the sport, you know, they get paid a pretty penny to do it. So it's not just a game to them.
Richard Sherman gets paid about $9 million a year to play what he plays, and this is the pinnacle of there is nothing higher than playing in a Super Bowl. So,
but at the same time, what would his organization do though? They're not gonna go up against your family. They're not gonna like fine him for leaving the bowl because his child was being born. So he could basically do whatever he wants. Somebody's gonna be mad on one side, but nobody can really do anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, can't the doctors hold the baby for another day?
Yo, when he ready to come, he ready to come. Whoa.
I know you can induce, but I don't think you can hold back. I don't know.
Hockey ready to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, there's nothing really that you can do about that.
You said hold him back, like, yo.
Well, it's
get on that Google Hangout while you're on the sideline or something.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation and an interesting question, and you know, I think at least me and Jimmy, after all this time, we've still like moments, hours away from the Super Bowl, we've still found a way to skate the question. B. Austin kind of answered by default because he don't have a choice. I'm not going to bring my wife in here because, you know, I want to keep skating the issue. So let's talk about the other story that we didn't get to on Thursday, and that was Earl Thomas receiving a random HGH test because of a tweet. Well, we think it's because of the tweet. He tweeted to his followers that his shoulder was improving, you know, pretty well. So next thing you know, he's getting a letter from the NFL to take an HGH test. Y'all think that's fair or foul? Because they, you know, he's basically saying, and Seattle's mad about it, saying, you know, they're treating us like criminals here. So what are y'all thoughts on that? Getting a random test because of a tweet about your health improvement.
Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman are both obviously thugs and criminals by nature. So he associates with thugs and criminals, so they're going to treat him like that. No, but all jokes aside, I'm not really going to take shots at the white supremacists that are shooting at those young gentlemen. I'm just going to say I don't really – my personal opinion about the use of performance-enhancing substances in the NFL is a little bit different than the status quo, because I think they should be allowed to use HGH. I think they should be allowed to use testosterone. I think the amount of trauma that you go through in the NFL to repair your body from Sunday to Sunday, which we know a Super Bowl is not Sunday to Sunday. These guys have had 3 weeks or whatever. But on the usual, I think they should be allowed. You know, so I always think the NFL is foul for coming down on these guys for performance enhancing substances. If it's criminal, illegal substances such as, you know, cocaine, heroin, whatever, you know, okay, cool. But, you know, these dudes put their bodies through enough.
So you're basically saying because of what they put their body through, it should be legal. And if you want to put that in your body, you know, not knowing what the long-term effects is going to be, that's on you.
That's my thing. If you're willing to take those risks to entertain me, more power to you. Like, yo, you can do coke during the game for all I care. But I just find it's a random testing.
Like the dude from Playmakers?
Yo, remember that? Y'all can't find that nowhere. You can't even buy the disc of that. But anyway, remember
NFL shut that down, homie.
Yeah, Vinatieri was making like 60-yard field goals a couple weeks ago, and then got a random test. The whole
Yeah.
random test thing is hilarious to me, yo. But they be on it these days. Like anything you say, do, they write on you with the random test.
Yeah, random being the key word here. All right, so yeah, I mean, I'm that it's just funny to me. Like I'm not one of those fans that's taking it all seriously. Oh, they're treating them like criminals, or play the race card on and anything like that. I just think it's funny, kind of like what Jimmy alluded to. I laughed at it when it was Adam Vinatieri, so I'm gonna laugh at it when it's Earl Thomas. He's still gonna play in the Super Bowl. He has a chance to win his second ring. If he wasn't doing anything, I'm sure he passed his test and everything's gonna be everything. So I'll just laugh it off. Let's get a little bit into the game, though. Keys to victory. What does each team have to do, in order to come out victorious in this? B. Austin, you want to start
real
that?
quick?
Okay,
I'll be
go ahead.
I was just going to say that in my opinion, it's about the running game. Like, looking back at this past season, this past couple weeks, I was just going back over the film of all season, watching both teams play, specifically the games they lost. Both teams lost about 4 games. And in those games, what I noticed is the other team established a running game and kind of ran down the other team's throat, so to speak. So, and that was on both sides. That was the Patriots as well as the Seahawks. The games the Seahawks lost is when they were just getting ran on. You know what I mean? And we already know about the Legion of Boom, that secondary. But at times they give up chunks of yards on the ground. So it's about establishing a running game. And when you think about it, Seattle is coming out with Beast Mode, who's like a big time celebrity now these last 2 weeks. He's like a household name. And then you look on the other side of the ball, and we got a cavalcade of just names. Shane Vereen and Garrett Blunt, who was on his way out the league a couple weeks ago. And a couple other dudes they picked up from like the gas station, and you would think that Seattle has the advantage, but Belichick's one of the greatest in terms of schemes and using the pass to set up the run. So we'll see, but I think it's about establishing that running game on both sides for both teams, that is. But probably more so Seattle, just because you have a younger quarterback and he struggled in the NFC Championship, and it's more pressure on him than it would be Brady. Brady's going to do what Brady does. So that running game is going to be important on both sides.
No doubt. For me, I'm gonna let you go, B. I'm not gonna give keys yet. I just want to say, like, this game to me is so difficult to basically call. Like, we know I have an idea of what the keys should be, but that pick I made midweek on Field Vision, check that out, WarRoomSportsTV.com, War Room Sports and the Sports Kings. That pick I made on Field Vision, man, I've been wavering back and forth. Like, I just don't know who I think is going to win this game. So I'm up against the clock because at the end of this episode, we got to make our final picks, and I just don't know yet.
That means we should at least get a good game, right? And that's what you want in the Super Bowl. We don't want it like last year where, God forbid my team laid a complete egg, had the worst game of the season at the worst time. But
right.
I understand, because I've also wavered back and forth. Like, they're not playing the Giants, and the Patriots have money in the bowl, and they're not playing the Giants. But Seattle was the defending champs, and so hopefully we get a good game.
All right, so B is going to give his keys to the game, but while he's doing that, you guys make sure you call in just to give us your picks. Give us your winner, your score, and your MVP, and that number is 323-410-0012. Just press 1 when you're prompted, and we'll try to get you on to give your picks. Keys to the game, B.
It's funny, like in 2015, when people are slinging the ball all over the place, Matthew Stafford is putting up ungodly numbers, isn't even good. You got guys passing for 4,000 yards every day. We get on the air, it's the Super Bowl, and what do we talk about? Leather helmet football, handing the ball off, running the rock, not passing, not the wide receivers in the game, not so much even the quarterback, but handing the ball off. And I am stalling a little bit as I develop my keys, because I'm looking at Marshawn Lynch, who's the obvious dominant running back in this game, and he's got to run against what I would consider as an underrated Patriots defense, definitely underrated against the run with my man Vince Wilfork up there at 4 million pounds and about 6 feet wide. But LeGarrette Blount is one of those guys where by name he's sort of nondescript. But if you watch the game and understand the talent, LeGarrette Blount is a very, very talented NFL running back. Like, even though they do running back by committee, we all know if we really analyze, Shane Vereen ain't got ish on LeGarrette Blount. So LeGarrette Blount could play a big role in this game. The Seattle front seven have to get Brady on the ground. They got to get his jersey dirty. They've got to get pressure on Brady. That is the only way you stand a chance, because if you let him sit back there and pick you apart, he will do that, and it doesn't matter who he has running at wide receiver. As we go through arguments all the time, fans overrate that position. Look, man, if you got a great quarterback, they could put you out there. Yes, you, whoever you are that's listening to this, you could go out there and run wide out for Tom Brady, and he'll just stick the ball on your chest and break your chest. But I think Seattle's defense has to get him dirty. They know what they have on the back line. They play single high safety. They man up on the outside. None of those corners are afraid of Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman and Brandon LaFell. That's not a problem. Cam Chancellor is going to have his hands full, as is Earl Thomas. I think they're going to take turns covering Gronkowski, who's going to work in between the hashes and then split out wide on certain times. I think when they split him outside the hashes as a wide out, I think you're going to see Richard Sherman or the other bull, Matt, what's the other corner? 41, cornerback number 41, the unknown member of the Legion of Boom. I think you're going to see either of those two guys
Maxwell.
take Gronkowski on the outside. Maxwell, yeah. Running the ball for Seattle. They historically through this season, they only dropped Russell Wilson back 17 times. They only give him 17 cracks at throwing the ball, and I don't think this game will be any different. They should run beast mode 32 to 34 times, 35 times, which is what they normally do. The bulk of the load is on him, and pick where you're going to throw. Don't allow Russell to do anything other than the simple things he does, which usually lead to victories, because there is a guy lurking out there, which we haven't talked a lot about, the best corners in this game, who are obviously the best corners in the NFL. My man Teddy Pendergrass, and for those of you who don't know, Teddy Pendergrass plays for the New England Patriots, left corner. If Russell Wilson stares down a receiver too long or makes a mistake, Teddy P will get his hands on the ball. So those are my keys. And special teams.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, the lines are starting to blow up a little bit. So let's go to the phone lines just to get some people's picks for the big game. And on the line with us, we got the homie, the MC, the cat that's responsible for our outro theme song. We got Chalk on the line. What up, Chalk?
Yo, what's going on, y'all, man? Happy Super Bowl Sunday.
Same
Happy
to you,
Super Bowl
bro.
Sunday, good bro.
So tell us, man.
Happy,
what up?
man.
Who you
What
got,
up,
man?
what up?
Patriots or Seahawks? What's your score, and who's gonna win the MVP?
Listen, man, I'm an NFC boy to the heart, so I'm going with Seattle. But we all know how intelligent and like y'all said earlier, Bill is a schemer. He's a god of schemes and strategies or whatever. And Tom is just, he's Tom Brady. Like, I don't care what you guys say about any scandals or and deflate gates or whatever. He's still Tom Brady at the end of the day. But like I said, I'm an NFC boy, but I'm not going to put anything past Tom Brady. So
You're not confident about the pick.
I'm not confident, but I'm gonna go out since y'all want MVPs and numbers and all that. All right, I'm gonna say Seattle. I'm gonna say the MVP is definitely be Lynch, because he does his talking on the court. I mean, not the court, on the field. And I'm gonna say the score would be 38-27.
No doubt. Yo, man, you sound like us because we still wavering our pick because this is going to be a tough game to pick, man. But
I mean, it is. Like y'all said, Tom is one of the few athletes. We're not going to just say football players. One of the few athletes, other than MJ himself that can make other players around him better. And like you said, you don't care. It can be us out there playing wide receiver. He want to make us look great.
This is true. This is all true.
Hey, Chop,
Yeah,
before we get you out of here, man, I'm talking online right now with the homie L Sharp, Lamont Sharp, from the crib.
Yo.
He told me to tell you what's up, man.
Mine, what up? What up?
No doubt. Thanks for the call, Chop. We appreciate the support.
All right, homie. Adios.
All right, take it easy. So we
yeah,
got
man.
another on the board. Man, this is a tough game though, yo. Like this is really a tough game to pick, man. And I got no horse in the race, so for me, it's all about a good game, man. But I'm going back and forth on my head, as talking to people online about who's going to win and whatnot, man.
Yeah, I mean,
man, so.
Seattle is the kind of team and what they do and what they want to do offensively. Of course, because their defense usually stands tough, like they can get beast mode, 30 carries in the usual game. So, of course, Tom Brady and the Patriots, what they're probably going to come out and do. And, I'm not in Bill Belichick's, his game scheme or anything, but it would serve them right to probably come out firing to try as hard as they can to get a lead on this team. Because you saw even in the Green Bay game, in the NFC Championship game, even when you get somewhat of a lead on them, and that lead was only what it was because the defense wouldn't allow the lead to get any bigger. Because usually if you have a cat like Aaron Rodgers and with the potency of the Green Bay offense, if you give them 5 possessions that start within the opponent's 35-yard line, you're probably going to be down 35 to 40 points in that game. But Seattle kept holding them to field goals. They got the goal line stand at one time. So the lead never ballooned to where it could be. So that's the type of defense that can keep you around in a game. So if it's the type of contest where they're allowing Seattle's offense to get into the flow of what they want to do, you got Marshawn Lynch, running the ball a lot. You get the read option going with Russell Wilson, and he starts to run and they start to complete, some passes down the field. The Patriots can very well be in trouble. But, a lot of people have already, some of the calls and some of you guys already talked about Belichick and his schemes. I think Belichick, I don't like to throw around the G word. It's just sports. But I think he's great at what he does as far as defensive game planning. But he's usually great at what he does against, the more traditional quarterbacks. He's great against Peyton Manning because he gets physical with Peyton Manning's receivers, and Peyton Manning's offenses are always predicated upon timing. You're not really getting that with Seattle because Russell Wilson doesn't really, need his offense to be predicated on timing because he can run around by time, and he's the type of guy who scrambles to actually look down the field and throw. So that might be a little bit more difficult for a guy like Bill Belichick to game plan for. So if they don't come out firing and get a nice lead on this team, and they allow Seattle to get into the groove of what they like to do offensively, it could be repeat territory for this team. But I think this is a great matchup. I think it's hard as hell to pick, man.
Real quick, though, we got another call on the line, but one thing I do want to say is one of the more underrated aspects of this game is that Patriot defense. Now, it's like they got better as the season went along.
Great secondary, too. Great secondary.
Better. Like he said, they got Teddy Pendergrass out there playing corner, as B. Austin said. But let's get to the lines again. We got the homie Corey on the line. I'm going to call and give his prediction. What's good, Corey?
Champ. What up, dog?
How y'all feeling, man?
Pretty good, man. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Too bad our squad not in it, but,
Yeah, we're going to be 60. We're going to be in rocking chairs.
What's your prediction, homie?
Yeah, I got Seattle routing these cats. Like, I think Seattle defense. Yeah, I think they're going to put on another show. I think they out for history.
Right.
I think they're going to put on a show. Like they did last year. They out to prove. They out to show and prove, and I think they're going to put Brady up on the middle like a dare head.
So it's funny because I can see that happening. Like the one thing I can't see is I can't see New England like routing them, but I can see them actually routing New England just because that game that they played against the Packers, like, sometimes when you see it on a run, whether it be basketball, football, they have that one game, that one scary game, and once they get past that, it's like, yo, they're all business, and they got past that game. Now they may
Yeah,
come out like clicking on all cylinders and just go ham. I don't know though. Like I said, I don't know.
Defense wouldn't let them give the game away. The defense wouldn't let them get a game away. That defense is for real. Like
exactly.
As bad as I want to,
tried plenty of times to give it away.
Yeah, Buster tried to give it away, and the defense was like, "No, you can't give it away." Like they was like, "No, y'all, you can't get it away."
Yo, Camp, this is Brother B. Austin, man. I've been going
What's
around
up?
the world on social media explaining how that defense is, that's the defense of Titans, man. Because Seattle's offense laid an egg that game, and that D was like, no, we going back to the Super Bowl. I ain't got time to hear it.
I'm not trying to hear that.
Yeah, like they about that business. Like you talking about Lynch being about that business, that defense, and for the record, Bobby Wagner is the best middle linebacker in football.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And we don't even talk about it. Yes, he is.
You talk about regional boom and NASCAR packages up front and all that. Bobby Wagner is that he's that dude. He set the whole thing for everything. And as long as he on the field, they too fast. Like that defense is faster than any defense I've ever seen, including the 2000 Ravens.
That was my next question. If they end up winning this game, right? What does that say about the defense from a historical standpoint?
Oh, they in there.
I really think they're the best defense that ever been assembled. I'm gonna keep it a south. I think they can go on a 4 or 5 year run. Like, listen, they all young in their prime, and they put that work in. Listen,
see, I'm thinking, Camp. Even if they don't go on a 4 or 5 year run, if they win again. If they win again this year, though, and the defense dominates like they did last year in the Super Bowl, you have to put up there with the top defenses of all time, simply because we're in an era now where, offenses, the game is basically catered to offenses. So if you can come into an era like this and dominate, yeah, you got to put them up there.
Yeah, listen.
I'm listening. Man, they better win. They better win, or we all on your timeline, man. They better win.
Hey, listen, y'all think y'all won on my timeline. Listen, these dudes, they about that business. Like, if you look at, like, I want to deny them because they in the same conference as my team, but my team has no shot against this kind of speed. You see what they did to him when they had him in here in December? Like, they did what they wanted.
Yo, I'm with you, Cam. I don't know if I can go all time. I don't know if I can go better than 85 Bears.
I'm sorry, I can't hear nothing nobody saying. Y'all talking over each other. I'm sorry, say that again?
Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was saying, B. Austin, he sound like he's saying some of the things you want to say, but you're just not ready to actually say yet, but you want to say it.
Yeah. I am kind of witty. I'm with you, Camp. Like, I'm with you because at every position, the speed and dominance is crazy. The Legion of Boom gets a lot of the credit because of those safeties and because of Sherman. But like you say, Bobby Wagner doesn't even get talked about, and he is clearly, to me, the best middle linebacker in the league. Like, and then you look at the front line, Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett, like, they might be. They might be top 5 ever. They might be.
Listen, listen, because you gotta put it in the context of the free and loose era we in. Like, ain't no other defense that can do this in this free and loose era. Yeah. I don't see it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they winning today and dominating again will go a long way to proving this kind of thing correct, because it is a totally different era. Like, the rules are totally biased towards the offense. So if you can come into this era and dominate, then yeah, you have to say something for them. So we're gonna see. But Camp, man, thanks again for your call. Thanks for your support all the time, man. We definitely rap to you after the game, man.
Yeah. If I'm right, y'all gonna have me all over your timeline.
All right, man.
All right, fella.
Yo, Brent just sent a message. He said he couldn't call in, but he said Seattle's going to win. Lynch is going to run for $130, and Russell Okung is going to be named MVP just to spite Marshawn Lynch.
All right, so everybody basically saying that Seattle is
Patriot shit. Like, I'm looking on Twitter, people tweeting to me, Seattle. Like, Yo, I don't know what the line is on this game, but, you know, in terms of our fan base and people that are communicating with us, we haven't had a Patriots pick yet.
See, that kind of thing. That's making me nervous though, because you know I picked the Patriots back on like Wednesday in a squeaker, and I was never confident about the pick. But listening, you know, people have legitimate points about what Seattle is capable of, and you know, I just don't know who I think is going to win this game. But like Jimmy said earlier, I hope the game lives up to this. The fact that I'm winning, everybody else seemed to think Seattle is going to dominate the joint. So
where's Fred Purdue at, man? We know we can get. Well, you know what? Fred Purdue is on Phil Vision. He picked Seattle too, and he's a Patriots fan. But we know that's about. He's hedging his bets right there. But, that's
just reverse. That's that superstition stuff. He think we don't know that.
It's funny though, man. Like I never even thought about this team from the historical standpoint until Camp just brought it up. Like, yo, if they win and dominate again, like we have to start thinking about them. I mean, you know, the Bears, of course, Jimmy, the Ravens, even that Buccaneers defense.
Jimmy, you know why I don't want to say anything? Because I feel like I'm seeing stuff. When I see that defense play, I feel like I'm seeing stuff that I'm looking at from a child's perspective. Like, they don't look human. Like, when they played the Skins, they didn't look human out there. They looked like they was playing against a whole bunch of predators. Like, the way they was hitting and the way they fly to the ball.
Listen, if you remember,
every week you and Jimmy text back and forth talking about how it looked like it's 16 cats on the field.
I was just getting ready to say that. During the course of the year, me and B. Austin like be in a private chat, like, yo, how many people are on the field? I swear they play with more people than us allowed, man. Like, specifically at home. Like, when they're playing at home, like, you know, sometimes on the road they struggle at times, but when they're playing at home, I swear they cheat, man. They make substitutions, man. They be having like 15 people at one time out on the field. You know, but I never.
This is where Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels go into their bag of tricks, though. We know the Patriots have a new trick every week. So, like, do you think that they can devise something? Like, everybody's talking about this defense. We just spent the last 5 minutes giving this defense a verbal blumpkin. Do you think Bill Belichick is sitting there like whatever, like I got y'all all-time defense right here?
I think he is.
If anybody can,
oh, go ahead.
I was saying if anybody can, it would be him, right? Can he? That remains to be seen. But if anybody can, you know, at the end of the day, this game is a cerebral game. You know, you can have all the speed in the world, but see, that's the thing about Seattle. They have both. They're cerebral players.
Dummies.
Exactly,
yeah.
and that's the difference. They have both. That's the difference.
Defense wins championships.
I'm telling you, I feel that Brady. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just going to ask you.
I said my Brady respect level is so high. I give him the benefit of that Michael Jordan, that Hakeem Olajuwon, that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar basketball, kind of like he's that guy that singularly can make a difference if they protect him. But if I took Brady out of the equation, I think they would bludgeon these dudes. Because talent for talent, athleticism, the Patriots can't run with these dudes offensively. Defensively, it's a little bit more even, but oof.
Here's the thing. The one thing we know about the Patriots, like any game that they've lost over even, say, the Belichick era, is when teams have been able to get pressure, specifically without blitzing, which is why the Giants for those 2 years came in the bowl and beat them up, because the Giants were able to get pressure from the front four without blitzing, and that was the formula both times to beat the Patriots. So my question to you, gentlemen, is does Seattle have that ability on their front four to get pressure without the blitz?
Yes.
Yes. That?
They don't blitz. They don't run a lot of blitzes. Their linebackers don't come. Their safeties don't come. Pause that. Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett get to the quarterback. That's bottom line. They get there. They blitz maybe 2 or 3 times a game. They don't believe in that. They play coverage and let their linebackers sit 3 to 7 yards deep and read and react. If it's a run, they fill the gaps. If it's a pass, they know their assignment. They don't blitz. That's what's scary. They don't send to anyone.
Y'all got me hyped, man. I was real indifferent, but I'm like real hyped to see this game now. I was real indifferent, yo. All right, but
Danny
look, man.
Amendola is going to get a concussion this game.
Before, real quick, let's take a.
Predicting
I
concussions
know.
now, B?
Yeah.
Over under on the concussion factor for New England wide receivers. All right, but listen, before we get back to the phone line and everybody giving us their pick, let me take a quick timeout. So just to let you guys know, you can check out our website, warroomsports.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for the War Report. That's our weekly newsletter. These days, not even weekly. We don't bombard you unless we really have some news. But while you're on the site, you can click on the Contact Us tab to send a message about our company, our show, or to inquire about sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For general inquiries, email us, info@warroomsports.com. While you're browsing the site, click on the memorabilia tab, buy some War Room Sports merchandise, click on the blog tab. Make sure you read our latest sports articles in the All's Fair and Sports and More blog. Then you can click the respective icons and tabs to like our Facebook page, to follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our iTunes podcast, to watch our webcast at warroomsportstv.com, to listen to our radio network at WRSPN.com, and to download our free War Room Sports mobile app on Android and iOS to get everything I just mentioned right there on your own device. Join the JW Philly Realty chat room right now during the show. blogtalkradio.com/the War Room. To enter the chat room, just sign up for a free profile on Blog Talk Radio. If you don't want to create an account, you can sign in through your Facebook and Twitter accounts. And while you're at it, make sure you click follow so you can get updates and reminders about the show, such as when we're doing special episodes at a different time, like we're doing right now. We'll be taking questions and reading posts from Facebook, Twitter, and the chat room during the show. But to call in and give us your Super Bowl picks, dial the Digital Extreme Tech hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening from your phone, just make sure you press 1 if you want to talk.
Hi, Peter King with the MMQB here, and you're listening to The War Room at the War Room Sports Podcast Network.
Perfect. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, so one of you guys did mention, okay, like because we're talking about Seattle's defense so much. New England, they don't have the wow factor, and they're not just devastating on the other side of the ball like Seattle, but they have one of the better defenses in the league. They have a very formidable secondary led by arguably the best cornerback in the league.
Teddy P.
If you're still thinking in terms of that's Teddy P's son. And if y'all don't know who we're talking about, that's Darrelle Revis Allen back there. And not only is the talent a factor, because I think anybody would just admit that they're not as talented on the defensive side as Seattle, but they have the scheme led by Bill Belichick, who's led the Patriots to 3 Super Bowl victories. I would say mostly due to their defense. He's been on the Giants staff when they won Super Bowls, mostly due to their defense. So what do you guys think they could possibly get accomplished against Seattle's offense? Trying to slow down beast mode, trying to slow down probably the best read option quarterback in the league, and Russell Wilson, and what they do with that. What do you guys think New England's chances are of pitching a great defensive effort and keeping this game close into the fourth quarter?
I think they have a great chance. I mean, you look at Seattle's offense, their receivers, some say they have the worst receiving core in the league, and they're in their second Super Bowl, which is funny. That shows you how great the defense is. But if they're able to, load up on the line and stop Marshawn, or
it shows you how much people care about big names, because their receivers aren't garbage by any stretch.
Look at the receivers on both sides of the ball, right?
Right.
And then you think about all the great receivers we've seen over the last decade, whether we're talking about Moss, T.O., Megatron, Larry Fitzgerald. None of them dudes got chips. But you got
all ringless.
Like Doug Baldwin and Doug Baldwin Hills and Danny Amendola, you know what I'm saying? So.
And if you want to take it back, Jim, you got Deion Branch, Brown, Givens, Patton. Come on. All the ones that everybody sweat are ringless. But that position, the fans seem so important.
When they was showing a David Tyree, and he had like the devil on his shoulder. They had it's like all these
Yo,
great
he was
receivers.
possessed. David Tyree was playing in the league possessed by
All these
demons.
great, and they don't win no chips, yo. Anyway, so to answer your question though, their defense is pretty tough. They got Teddy P's son out there who can shut down anybody. So I think they can keep them in the game, but man, it's gonna be a tough one, man. We definitely got another call on the line, but B. Austin, go ahead and give your opinion on this real quick.
I think New England D can keep it close. The problem with Seattle is they're not known to score a lot of points, because they don't need to. Which is in the NFL today, you throw the ball to score points, you run to control the clock, and your defense wins you the games. Their D wins the game no matter what. Their offense ends up scoring. That's how Seattle was built. So essentially, they get a small lead. Their D makes the other team go 3 and out, and they hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch to control the clock. Now, Russell Wilson, the one thing I'll say for Russell, because I've had discussions all throughout social media. A lot of fans have been overrating him. Some still have been underrating him. I think Russell Wilson is a good quarterback. And one of the things that I like about him, the thing that I like most about him, is he makes sharp, quick, calculated, risk-averse decisions. You ask me sometimes, and I think he's too risk-averse, but he does not typically turn the ball over. I would say that NFC Conference Championship game is an anomaly in his career. We may never see Russell Wilson play that poorly again. But the problem is, if Brady is somehow able to lead New England's offense to get up 2 scores or 3 scores, and you're forced to now take Seattle away from what it is they do best, which is control the clock with Marshawn Lynch, and now you place the burden of winning that game on Russell Wilson throwing the ball as opposed to allowing him the option of handing it off, running himself, making it just short dump off to Wilson, and just controlling the pace of the game. Now he has to pass, and you can sit that New England secondary back, which is good in and of itself, sit them back and have him throwing into the teeth of their defense. That would make for a very interesting game, which goes away from what Seattle does traditionally and what people's perception of their strength is. Goes away from their strength.
Look, before we get to Phil, real quick, B. Before we get to Phil on the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline, real quick, I just want to tell you fellas, you know what I would love to see? I would love to see Seattle just buck what everybody thinks and just come out firing. You know what I'm saying? That can do a lot for, the opinions of Russell Wilson. Like B. Austin, I think we agree that he's a good quarterback, but at this point, we think a lot of people are out there overrating him as a passer because of his team's success. I would love to see Russell Wilson come out firing it and say, F all y'all. I do this.
Yeah, but they only throw the ball 17 times a game.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I would like to see him buck that trend and get my man some respect from pundits like me who don't think really, who think the team concept is primary to his success right now. But he is a good quarterback. So let's go to the line real quick. We got Phil Maddock from the Tissue in the Tape podcast on WRSP.
Yo, what up?
What up, Phil? What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, man. What's good, man?
What's
good,
it's Super Bowl Sunday now.
Day?
We had you on the record from the last show, but it's last minute if you want to change up.
No. I premature prognosticated last time. But 34-17 Seattle. And Brady will make a mistake that causes them to go ahead and second score. Brady will make a mistake. Yes.
Okay. So it'll be a situation where
I want to say this about Russell Wilson. So because I don't think I was clear the other day. Russell Wilson he's a good quarterback. He is a great football player. it's a totally different thing. He's a great football player.
There you go.
And
I agree with
football
that.
players
100%.
win championships. Great
100%.
football players win
I agree with
championships. You play
I got
to win
you.
the game.
I agree with that.
To quote Herm Edwards, and I don't care if he only throws the ball 17 times a game, as long as the outcome is income. And he's been making the outcome. He's been making a lot of income with his outcome. So, and he has come back to win games when needed to. He came back in this game. You know what I mean?
Hey, Phil.
In his last, yo, what's up?
Hello? You play to win the game.
Talk to her.
You don't play to just play it.
Yeah, I was looking for that.
I mean, that's what it is, though. And the fact that he came back in last year's NFC Championship game, he threw the go-ahead score on 4th down. I mean, a lot of people overlooked that because of what Richard Sherman did at the end of the game, you know.
Right.
But that was a 4th down play when they scored. As much as it pains me, trust me, I know.
But that Richard Sherman play, I mean, I don't want to rehash old stuff, but I put that on your quarterback. How about to say I put that on your quarterback because if he throws that a couple of feet more, like y'all going to the Super Bowl.
And that's why I don't know why they called it such a great play. It was a smart play, but it was a bad throw. That being said, Russell Wilson still had to bring them back. He still had to score those points.
Still had to score.
2 weeks ago against Green Bay, he still had to score those points. And then also the plays he made with his feet. A lot of people are overlooking that. And I do see the comments on social media where people are like, "Oh, they start putting him up there as all-time great." Let me stop that. Let's slow down. He's not an all-time great quarterback. He is a great football player that's in the midst of an all-time great run, and he has the backing of a great defense. He's not Trent Dilfer by any means. You know, Trent Dilfer was a game manager. Russell Wilson actually goes out and wins these games for his team. And to what Dev said about him going out and airing it out, that's not going to happen. He's going to do what he always did.
I love to see it though.
That's why I mean, it would be cool if you want the Patriots to win because that's what would happen. I mean, because if the same exact thing happens tonight that happened with Green Bay, Patriots are getting their 4th championship. They're not going to blow that lead the way the Packers did. That's one thing I will say about them. They know how to finish it.
You know what? Because they finished teams to the tune of people complaining, like, "Oh man, it's 45-7. They're still throwing it 38 yards down the field." Bill Belichick is
trying to get Super Bowl record late in the 4th quarter if they make those same kind of mistakes that they did against the Packers. So if he comes out trying to throws 4 interceptions, one of those joints would be a pick six because Teddy P. Jr. will pick six that thing. If they do some of the same things that they did against the Packers. That being said, I'm in a no-win situation because I'm either going to have to hear the Seahawks fans and Dick Sherman talk about, you know, being back-to-back champs, or I'm going to have to hear pundits talk about Brady being on Montana's level. I'm not trying to see it.
So this affects your 49ers either way it goes down.
Yeah. I mean, so I need a tie to happen tonight. And they just shut it down the Super Bowl.
First ever Super Bowl tie. The lights go out. They can't get it back on.
But no, seriously though, last point I'm gonna make before I get out of here because I got a house full of people. Yo, why I've been reading a lot of these comments. It's coming down. It feels like a racial thing, and I mentioned this on our show the other day. It feels like
always
a racial
man.
thing. But it was crazy because like I was looking at 8 of the picks on ESPN. They showed the first 3 guys, three white guys. They picked the Patriots. The next 3 dudes, black, picked the Seahawks, and then it's just like you getting all these.
So that mean I gotta reevaluate my pick, man. Because if I go with this Patriots pick, man, I'm be selling out my race.
Yo, it's like the old Lakers Celtics series back in the day. This is always chosen amongst race lines.
Yeah, it's feeling like that, man, and it's crazy. It's like how do we get here, yo? Like they both teams still owned by white dudes.
Phil, how did we get here? We never solved race in this country, as is evident by recent situations in the world, period, in America, period. Like, we never solved it. We just act like it would go away on its own. And it's rearing its ugly head. So when things like this show up, especially in sports, we know what it is. You know what it is.
I mean, yeah, of course. But I mean, I know race, but I'm talking about in this one particular game. And what the only thing I can come down to is that the Seahawks have they're players that are known. The players that are their hallmark players are black, and the players.
Well, hey, hold on, y'all. Yeah, because y'all opening up a whole nother can of worms. We might have to have a post show.
Y'all about to start something else, man.
We got like
Let's get
3 minutes, and we got a few more calls to get to. So
hey,
Phil, we gonna wrap.
Hey, well, y'all just peep how this thing gets. When you go back on social media after this and just see the comments, I think you know where we're going. But all in all, y'all, I appreciate y'all for everything y'all do. War Room Sports Podcast Network, the best damn sportscast, best damn sports podcast network in the business. War Room.
Tissue and the tape, Hip Hop 365. We talk to you, man.
Every damn day.
All right. We got a few minutes left, man. We let's get to Roy from the Broad Street line, another member of the War Room Sports Podcast Network. Roy, what's up, man?
Fellas, what's good?
Good, man. We need your pick, your score, and your MVP. What's up?
All right, Dev. I'm gonna join you on the on Team Don Lemon over here. I'm gonna go with the Patriots too. So if we get this on, it's both of us.
Sell out, man. We selling out our race, man. All right, who's your MVP and how's it gonna go?
I'm gonna change it up a little bit. I'll go Julian Edelman for MVP. Patriots 24-20. Yeah.
They gave one to Deion Branch. They gave one to Branch.
Yeah,
Edelman probably better than him.
Yeah, probably. Like Tom Brady's never played bad in a Super Bowl. He's been in 5, never had a bad game, and like it's hard for me to pick against a guy who has that kind of track record. I mean, it's a good story either way, whether the Seahawks or the Patriots win. But it's just hard for me to see a guy like Tom Brady have a bad game, even though, of course, he's never faced a defense like Seattle. I'm going to go with the guy who has the track record in Tom Brady, so I'll say 24-20. It'll be a close game throughout, but I think the Patriots pull it out.
All right. Well, everybody, y'all make sure y'all check out the Broad Street line, WRSPN.com. You'll love what those guys are doing over there. Thanks for the call, Roy. We got to try to get to a few more with like 2 minutes left. So thanks, man.
All right,
Yo. Man, we got Brandon Pemberton, the hardest working man in sports, also a member of War Room Sports Podcast Network, Sports Trap Radio. What's up, B? Who's gonna win this thing?
Come on.
Winner, score, and MVP. Who you got?
I like the Patriots 27-24. My MVP is gonna be LeGarrette Blount, 2 touchdowns, over 90 yards rushing. I think the Patriots, watching them on tape all year, they had the most balanced and multifaceted offense in the NFL. You know, on any given week, depending on who the opponent is, they'll attack you in a different way. And in my opinion, if they're smart, and what the Packers started to do, but then they got away from it, the Packers' left side of their offensive line dominated the Seattle Seahawks early in that game. They ran the ball to their left 13 times for almost 90 yards early in that game, but they got away from it for whatever reason. I can see the Patriots attacking the Seahawks and trying to dominate them physically in this game. And if they're able to do it, and their offensive line from the week 4 up until now has gotten tremendously better. If they're able to run the football and do it, and do it well, then that's going to open up some play action for Gronkowski a little bit. The safety's going to have to creep up a little bit more. And I like both of these teams a lot. They are the 2 best teams in the NFL, clearly. But I'm going to go with the Patriots to win a close ball game. But with that being said, the Seahawks got a player that's underrated in my opinion, and that's Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson can single-handedly win this football game. One,
with his ability to win inside of the pocket. Also, he can get outside of the pocket not only to run, but he buys time for his receivers and tight ends, which aren't household names, which aren't great, but they get these chunk plays when he does stuff outside of the structure, and they get 20 and 30-yard plays down the field because of his ability to beat you with his feet and his arm at the same time. But I think it's going to be a great game, but I'm going to take the Patriots to win by a field goal late.
All right, thanks,
no doubt.
We appreciate
Pemberton
it.
Sports Trap Radio. All right, man, we holler at you. We got to do something
All right,
post-game.
All right, bro.
All right, homie.
All right, look, we're going to go out on this because we got to give our picks. Wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute, Jim. We got to go out because we got to give our picks too. So what we're going to do, we got Hank from Imaginary Players on the line, and we got Fred from College Football Extra on the line. So we're just going to take turns giving our pick. I'm going to stick with my Patriots pick, close game Patriots.
Yo, I'm going with Seattle 24-20, and I guess it's because I'm black.
Yo, I'm going with Seattle because y'all race traders. I'm taking Seattle 42-21 now that y'all put that out there.
Fred, who you got?
I'm sticking with my Seattle Seahawks pick, and it hurts my heart to do this. But 31. Your Seattle Seahawks. What?
No, he said his pick. His pick, man. Calm down.
I have to
Go ahead,
stick with
what'd
my
you say,
Seattle Seahawks pick, 31-20. Patriots lose another one, and Brady's legacy is questioned.
All right, B. Austin, finish it off.
I'm
You're the only one we
with
haven't gotten a pick from yet in 3 shows. Hurry up. We already.
I'm going with the tie.
Come on, man. Say it. We got to go.
Seattle.
All
right, listen, man. Thanks everybody for joining us in the War Room. Shout out to everybody that called in. We didn't get to a lot of calls. We apologize, but you know what? Tune in this Thursday. We're going to talk about what happened in this game. Always War Room Sports. That's Twitter and Facebook at War Room Sports. War Room Sports Podcast Network, WRSPN.com, WarRoomSportsTV.com for our video content, and WarRoomSports.com is to check anything that we're doing. Listen, enjoy the Super Bowl. As we always say, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance. We shall see you chumps on top.
Shout out to Chop.
6 to 8. Yeah. War Room Sports. Y'all ready? Let's go. Stay in tune to Jimmy. Know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev. PJ, B. Austin, Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Yeah. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like Magic in the box course. Listen live, push 1 to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip-hop scholars, tip stop for knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy. DJ, Jack Bay, B. Austin. I'm Jack. Up and coming on the beat.
I'm here so I won't get fined.
War Room Sports. www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.